Hey everyone! Welcome to Be the Change. My name is Lily Mott, and today I'm going to be talking about how change comes when you focus your work around helping humanity and the world. My guest this week is Vasundhara Chaudhary, and I had a really interesting conversation with her about mental health advocacy and her organization Inspire Dose. As the founder of Inspire Dose, Vasundhara is working to raise awareness about the stigma surrounding mental health in her home country of India. I learned a lot through this conversation and I'm excited to share it with you. So, without further ado, let's get started with this episode featuring Vasundhara Chaudhary.
Yeah, so myself Vasundhara Chaudhary. I'm from Chandigarh, India, and presently I'm in grade 12. I'm pursuing my grade 12 with biology, chemistry, and physics as my majors, and I want to pursue a career in medicine. Psychiatrist is what I dream to be because my life has a lot of relationship with mental health. I had been through anxiety during the lockdown, and I know what it feels like to be in some mental health issue, and I had gone through various therapies so that I can come out of anxiety. And then I realized that there are lots of people in the world that are going through much worse than what I have been through. So I opened my organization named Inspire Those, and we aim to spread awareness about mental health. As you would know that in India, mental health is not given such importance, although the situations are increasing these days. Like people are getting towards mental health, they're understanding that mental health is real, but still there is a lot of stigma attached to it in our country and in many other countries that are actually developing countries. Developed countries are still there to destigmatize this topic, but developing countries are in not in a that state that they have destigmatized it. So I am working towards awareing people that mental health is real, that there is nothing wrong in accepting that you are not mentally healthy, and physical and mental health are equally important. Apart from that, we also talk about spirituality, which is a concern, and not many people are into it. But yeah, it's an important part of an individual's life. So we mix spirituality and mental health together so that people realize that they both the things are hand in hand. If you're spiritually connected, your mental health is actually better as compared to when you're not spiritually connected. Apart from that, I had started my journey as a mental health advocate by writing for various local newspapers, as well. I have various podcasts on which I have been talking about mental health, the issues related to it. And yeah, that's all about my journey.
Thank you so much for sharing some about your story and for agreeing to come on the show. I would love for you to tell me a little bit more about Inspire Dose because that's how I found you. And I would love to just know more about the mission and what you're working on now with the organization.
Okay, so the motto of our organization is Loka Samasta Sukhina Bhavantu, which means that the actions and the work I am doing should be helpful for the humanity. There should be no self satisfaction in that. It should be for the humanity, for the world. So that actually leads to the happiness. So this is what our organization basically works on. So we have our Instagram channel as well as our YouTube channel where we keep on updating people about various issues. We speak about depression. We talk about the issues related to it. What are the ways in which you can deal with it? Our main focus is on depression and anxiety, if I talk to you. Apart from that, we have launched a self-care general. That's actually a page and it's available on our Instagram handle as well. If you visit our link tree, there you can publish it out. You can use it in your day-to-day work. Like you can use it, publish it, and keep it with yourself. So it was launched on Mental Health World Mental Health Day this year only, and it's free for all people. And we are thinking of launching more such generals for free. And even we are working on a self-care kit that will be developed, and we will be giving it away to people in general all over the world. Apart from that, we have a team of 4 members, and our main focus is that we keep on updating our YouTube channel with motivational videos about depression, about what people are going through, what the statistics speaks about. The if you check out MHA, that's I mean the world's biggest mental health awareness site that you can go through. So they keep on updating about various statistics, that how much people went into depression, how much of them cope up. So we try to bring that data towards the world so that more and more people can be aware. Apart from that, if you see our Instagram page, you will be surprised to know that we have kept the feed so colorful that if people visit it, they will definitely get a good impression from it. So that will make their day. And apart from that, we had been collaborating with various organizations. With them, we had been working towards making a podcast, so that like I have been connected with you, so we make podcast and then we viral it on our website as well. If you check out it, so even your podcast will be there on our Instagram handle, so that more people can know about it. So this is how we work.
That's amazing that you've been able to develop all of these different initiatives as a part of Inspire Dose. And I think you've made it really accessible for people to connect with you, and you're on so many different platforms. So I think that's great. You mentioned it briefly, but I would love for you to talk some about the stigma you observed surrounding mental health, particularly in India. And could you also maybe discuss some of the ways that you're hoping to combat that stigma? I would love to just talk more about that issue and also some of those solutions as you see them.
Yeah, so actually, I had a connection towards mental health from my childhood. When I was in eighth grade, I read about some sites that were committed, and in the newspapers, like this is a daily news here. And then I talked to it about with my friends and family. But when I talked to them, though, they were like that there's nothing called depression. It's just the drama that people do. My friends, my parents, my family, like everyone told me the same. Even I asked anyone in the society about it. They were like, there's nothing to ask for depression, and it's just drama that people do. So I was like, okay, but I kept on researching on this in my initial, like when I was in eighth grade, ninth grade, and I felt that there is actually something that's there with the what is depression is, what mental health issues, bipolar syndrome, etc. So then when in 2020 I myself went through anxiety, and I had to contact with psychologist and psychiatrist about it. Then I realized that yes, the people are not actually accepting the fact that there is something called mental health issues, that there is something called depression, although it is the truth that there is actually something. So from like my society around me was not really accepting this fact. They were like, no, there's nothing called depression. It's just like I've told you many times that it's just drama that people do. It's just for gaining sympathy that people are doing this, etc., etc. But when I went through it myself, it's then when I realized that yes, it is actually there. Like when you go through the pain yourself, that is the time when you realize that yes, it is something there. Although the time from 8th to 12th, I realized that yes, many developments have taken place, many activists have there, but I don't really think that the development is at a pace at which the mental health issues are rising. Like mental health is not in our curriculum. I don't know about USA, but it's not there in India. Like you are not going to find it in your books about mental health. You are going to learn that your physical health is important, that how to stay healthy, how to do exercise, drink lots of water, sleep well. But no one is talking about mental health. No one is speaking that how to keep yourself mentally healthy. If at initial stages only a child learns that yes, there is mental health is equally important as physical health, then I think the issues that a child will face in their teenage will be less as compared to that they're facing now. And even a government is not really doing initiatives that they should have done in doing the destigmatizing the society. Like the students in here are not aware. Even the like backward section people are even facing mental health issues, but no one is really talking about them. And even the if you talk about medical facilities or mental health, it's not that much. Like there's only one mental health institute in India that is there. There is no other institutes. Like if you talk about it's in Bangalore, so there is only one mental health institute in India, that is there, and all the researchers are held there only. I think that there should be at least 4 to 5 big mental health institutes where people can pursue their courses in psychology and psychiatry as well as in mental health advocacy, but there's just only one. So I think that there's a lot of gap between the mental health status in our country, as well as I think that this gap can be filled only when the youth rises, because obviously the future of a country is in hands of youth. But yes, I'm great that lots of peers are working towards this. Lots of organizations are standing up for this cause, and I think that in 5 to 6 years there will be a change. Like, mental health will be important as physical health, and even lockdown gave it a boost because the cases of mental health rose up in lockdown. So I think that what will help in accelerating the pace of destigmatizing mental health is the lockdown that took place in 2020. And I think that situations will increase in 5 to 6 years if the government and the people work simultaneously.
That's really interesting, and I'm glad to hear that you think the situation is improving. And I think there's a really important point in there, too, about how the mental health of young adults should be considered and prioritized, because it's made me think some about how if we, as young people, can make that change for ourselves and our generation, then we'll be able to pass it on to the next. And so I think that's a really important connection. And I'd love to just explore that a little bit more. Do you feel like young people in India are talking and becoming more aware about mental health? Have you seen real positive change there?
Yes, if I talk about it, so the youth from metropolitan cities, especially big cities, they are actually working towards it. I know my classmates who have been working towards it. I know people whom with I have collaborated with. Even Rida, if you know, she had been there on your podcast. She had been also working towards it. I had collaborated with her as well for this issue. And so I think that, yes, people are working, but yeah, there's a gap between the urban and the rural. But yeah, the urban youth is actually working towards it. And I think that with continuous efforts from the youth, the situation will definitely increase and it will get better in our future.
That's really interesting. And I would also love to know what you're hoping for the future of Inspire Dose and also your work in mental health advocacy. What are your plans for the future?
And if talking about my future goals, so the first one will be to get into university. I want to pursue medicine and I want to be a psychiatrist. Apart from that, I'm planning to involve psychologists and psychiatrists in my organization so that we can provide free counseling facilities for the people all over the world, online free facilities, free therapy sessions, because I think that many people don't take up therapy sessions because they think that they have to spend money on a thing that is not really necessary, and they try to get better by themselves, like by with the pace of time, and they don't really go towards therapy sessions. They feel ashamed, like they have to take therapy session because the society will tell them that why they're taking therapy sessions, are they not fit, and so. So, and apart from that, therapy sessions cost is a little bit high in India, so people refrain from taking them. So, we are planning to include psychologists and psychiatrists who are willing to volunteer, like the youth generation that have just passed out as a psychologist, who have just started their internship, so that they can help us and we can provide free counseling session, free therapy sessions for people who can't really afford the therapy sessions or the counseling sessions. Yeah, that's actually what I'm planning.
Definitely. Those all sound like great goals, and I'm excited to follow along, of course, and see all of the work that you're going to do. So, I have one last question for you. Lots of young people, particularly college students, high school students, want to create change and they want to get involved, they want to make a difference in the world, but they may not know how or maybe where to get started. Do you have any advice for those people who may be listening?
So I think that each person actually has a passion, that like someone might be good in art, someone might be good in music, and someone would be related to gender equality, someone would be towards mental health, and there are like someone would be towards STEM, and there are lots of fields in activism. So I would suggest that each one should sit calmly and think that what actually interests them the most. Like I found my interest towards mental health when I was in eighth grade and I learned from people. So I think each and everyone would have some or the other interest. Like if I talk about you, you have interest in podcasting and talking with lots of people. So this is really great goal. So each and everyone definitely has interest. God has definitely given each one something special. And when they realize their interest area, they should work towards it. They should make a profession in them, but the main aim of their professional life should not be to earn money. Yeah, that's important, but that should be their second goal. Their first goal should be to serve the humanity, and through that their professional life as well as their the activism, the work they want to do, the social work, and that will go hand in hand. Like I'm working towards mental health as a mental health advocate, as well as I want to pursue a career in mental health only. So there are lots of people, like if you're interested in STEM and you have realized that yes, that field interests you, you can give away your life for that field, then start working towards STEM, start making people aware towards it, and side by side pursue your profession in that. And I think that will be the self satisfaction that you will get to at the end of the life is what actually matters. And I think that not working towards money but working towards your passion and for the society is actually what is really important and what is needed from the youth in this world.
I really enjoyed this conversation, and I'm really excited to follow along with Vasundhara's work and see where she takes Inspire Dose from here. I think it was really interesting to hear her talk about the organization's mission at the beginning of the conversation, because she talked about how the work she's doing is for humanity and for the world. She really emphasized that doing advocacy work shouldn't be about you and the personal satisfaction that you're gaining from those experiences, but rather it should be focused on serving others and then seeing the benefits of your work reflected in those that you helped. I really like that she talked about prioritizing others with your activism or your advocacy or whatever work you're doing, and trying to figure out how you can best serve and support those around you. Because change comes when you focus your work around helping humanity and the world. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, and you can connect with Vasundhara and learn more about Inspire Dose on Instagram at inspire._.dose. If you want to talk about anything I mentioned, please reach out to me by email at lily@bethechangepodcast.org or on Instagram at bethechangepodcast. Tune in for my next episode, but until then, be the change you wish to see in the world. Bye, guys.